Other than the fact that this microphone may pick up a lot of wind. But when I played it back a few minutes ago, as I was checking the sound, it sounded good. But then, again, there was a lot of wind. And I was thinking I wasn't going to be able to read because of how the wind was blowing. And for a brief moment, it completely stopped. But it's back kind of high now, so we'll see how far we can get. The same as this though is blowing this way, so I set up my little guitar here to block it. We may be alright. Okay. So we have like we've known each other forever. And then we have forego pleasure for the larger purpose, cleansed and purified, ready for your next step. So I feel like I just feel like there's someone that you may have felt like you've known forever. It's a comfort zone, but it is a situation that you need to cleanse and purify from in order for you to move to the next level, because maybe they're occupying space, but they're not adding to, they leave more doubt and confusion than peace and harmony, and in that case, they may be doing some black magic, because coming out underneath that card is you bully yourself so much. You bully yourself. You talk so much shit to yourself. Stop it. And I feel like this is impact. You are an empath, and I feel like you are feeling this energy off of people around you that you may haven't even known forever, such as family. But it could also be a connection between a friend or a situationship or a partner in which, they don't really like you. They're not really your friend. It says the world is still running its old program, but you have exited. And so it could just simply be the fact that you have outgrown them as well. It could just simply be that. These people, they're still running on an old program, and you have updated. So the communication is not communicating like it used to. Like it says, no longer negotiating with low efforts. Empress, royalty. Again, you see yourself as ready for the next step. You see yourself in high regards, and if this person is that you've known forever, or someone that you just met and you feel like you've known each other forever, you have undergone an awakening, and you already know that. Just like with addictions or anything you're trying to overcome, you can't continue to hang around with the same group and think that you're going to be prepared. You need to hang around with people who are either equal or greater in intelligence, spiritual understandings, emotional maturity, groundedness, willing to do the work and to heal, to face their shadow. You're stepping into your master manifesting energy. And this person wants to bully you, wants you to bully yourself. Look at that, enlightenment. Ooh. You have reached or are coming into a state of enlightenment. That's coming out underneath the old world is running on an old program, but you have exited because you've been enlightened, cleansed, and purified. You're ready for the next step. You can't stay stuck and stagnant. Okay? And them trapping you, they have trapped themselves. And Spirit is asking you to have a detached clarity that is untainted by emotionalism. Yes, there's a deep connection to these people. Y'all may have trauma bonded, but it's time. You gotta release that. You gotta release that. You need to detach. And yes, you know, being able to talk to them like you used to, and having what you thought was just everything because you had such low standards for yourself. They brought a comfort, but the next card that we're about to clarify is forego pleasure for the larger purpose. Forego pleasure for the larger purpose. Forego comfort for a little time so that you can have extended comfort. Clarify and forego pleasure for the larger purpose. We have Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael is protecting you and cutting out, helping you to cut out things that are no longer serving you. But again, he's a protector. So he's helping to protect your destiny. Because your light calls out corruption. And with these people wanting to stay in the old program, you're going to be in a constant state of healing, heartbreak, arguments, fights, competition, if you don't cleanse and purify yourself from these relationships. Because you are ready for the next step. But these people withhold praise, they withhold gratitude, because they want to gaslight you and make you think that you aren't this person whose light calls out corruption. They want you to think that you aren't this person that has exited the old program that the world is running on. They want you to think that you haven't upgraded. They want you to continue to negotiate with low efforts. But you're no longer negotiating with low efforts. Okay? These people just want to trap you into the bullying of self that they encounter. But bottom of the deck, I see vindication. You're being vindicated. Look, the card that just come out over to clarify, you bully yourself, but high vibration. You've detached, okay, because this is coming out underneath the detached clarity untainted by emotionalism. Now you're able to tap back into your authentic self, like really and fully, your higher self. That's why you are in this master manifestor enlightenment energy. Okay? That's why you're there. Since the world is still running on old programs, but you've exited, and look at this, this is a fuck love right now. So this could be someone, again, an intimate situation, someone that you love, but you gotta forego pleasure for the larger purpose. You know what I'm saying? And that could be being with that, just the pleasure of having companionship, but it's toxic, you know. And it's not capable of giving you reciprocity. It says your equal is being prepared for you, or your equal is preparing for you. Okay? And that person is going to come in and give you the vindication that this person that you are ending a situationship with, they're going to give you the vindication that that person didn't. Okay? You're no longer negotiating with low efforts. This person thought that they could give you low efforts because perhaps you were a late bloomer. You know? They didn't think you were going to amount to anything. They think you were going to always be a broken. But you are an empress. You are royalty. got new team here coming out to clarify, Master Manifester. Your new team, your new spiritual team is who's come in and brought this vindication, and also has enlightened you on how to use this new energy that is available to you through you exiting the old program. And also, your new team has revealed to you that that person was just giving. They had cups for you, filled with liquid, but it was sewage. And now you are enlightened to the trash that you were accepting, because you were negotiating with low efforts because you didn't think much of yourself. You're a late bloomer. Hell, you probably still hadn't bloomed yet. And so, they wanted you to see. They wanted to continue to see you as below them. They wanted to continue to elevate and prosper, while you sit and looked and just wished you could have been there. Since their head is so far up their ass. These people are ego-led, not understanding or knowing that you were their lucky charm. You were part of the reason why opportunities, whatever, kept coming in and blessing them. But now that you are detaching, I don't know if that's going to continue. It may. You may be the one that's ego-leg and have your head so far up your ass. Only time will tell. But it says in the next part that we're clarifying, it says, in them trying to trap you, they trap themselves. It says, in trying to trap you, I've trapped myself. Karma, negatively labeling someone. Again, we said these people may be talking cash money shit about you, trying to shame you because you're a late bloomer. You know what I'm saying? They was giving you breadcrumbs because you allowed it, because you were negotiating with that shit. And then we have refused to communicate clearly. In them trying to trap you with refusing to communicate gratitude or appreciation or love, to really validate and support you, to encourage you. And not telling you how bright your light is, or you know what I'm saying, all the things in a really genuine manner. They wanted to trap you into chasing them and chasing that validation. The moment you started to walk away, you started to receive it. Everything else that you wanted from this person, they started to do. And then just as you kind of got a little bit too comfortable in that space, and the old energy just came right back up. But they can't replicate you. You know what I'm saying? And they're really gonna want you back, because you are walking away. Archangel Michael is not letting them back in. But the fuck love right now, it also says your energy needs to be protected. And that's coming out underneath Archangel Michael. Your energy needs to be protected. You need to be making mind over heart decisions. You got a new team right now. You have a very powerful master manifester energy. You are able to embrace a miracle mentality with more fervor right now, which will bring in manifestations. You are enlightened. Okay, your discernment is on fleek when it comes to people giving you sugar, not salt. You know what I'm saying? Some people get, it's hard to tell, but your team has got your discernment on fleek so much that you can tell. You know what I'm saying? This person may have a cup full of sewage water and pour some vinegar in it, so you can't smell the funk, but you still know. You know what I'm saying? And you're not arrogant about it. You don't feel like you're above this person, with the no hierarchy card here, oneness. You really tried to actually help them to grow, but they refused to grow. They didn't want to do the things. And so you stop chasing. And it's like this card says, when you stop chasing, you start choosing. Look, god damn, I literally turned to this, flip to this card, or cut to this card, and it's the card of the no chase contract has been activated. You ain't chasing no motherfuckers no more. God dang. Gots to be more careful. Now they done activated the no chase contract. Your new team. Your new team done drew up some new papers, okay? And now they done drew up the no chase contract that has been activated. You are fully in your Empress royalty energy. You're not negotiating with low efforts no more. You motherfuckers tried to shame you and make you feel like you weren't worth anything because you maybe didn't have as much as them, and they thought you were never gonna do that. But yes, it will. Something significant may have happened in the month of May, or will happen in the month of May of next year, perhaps. Okay, it says you are not them. Your energy is something they will never understand. Your energy is something these people will never understand, and if they can't understand it, then how they know how to treat it? I thought that bug was, it looked like a moth. That was interesting. If they're trying to run away, let them. These people may have cut off communication. And remember, they refuse to communicate clearly now because they are seeing that the trap that they set for you, they are now falling into it. But it's, it just is what it is at this point because you don't even give a fuck. Their validation no longer brainwashes you to people please for them. It's done. You're done. That's an old, program that you've exited. Period. Look, they couldn't grasp your essence until they literally couldn't. Until you took that shit. Until you took that fucking option away. Now they can grasp your essence. They're going to grasp it now, but it's too late. You've cleansed and purified yourself from this energy, and you're ready for the next step. Like you tried. You're ready for the next step, and I feel like the next step for you is conjunction. Okay, that is two planets aligning so closely that their energy blends into one powerful force. I feel like that is who is coming into your life. This is the energy that they wanted to block. This is the energy that you thought they were, and they possibly could have been, but they wanted to play games. They wanted to keep you chasing them. And now the no chase contract has been activated. So what can we say? I mean, a higher power has stepped in. A higher power stepped in. Like, we tried to tell you. Okay? We tried to tell you that we a real high priestess and you can't be treating us like no basic bitch. Or you're a high priest and you can't be treated like a basic dude, like a pookie. That's not gonna work. Now their tactics works on pookies and such because they don't have that spiritual covering. But you never came in and hid your spirituality. You just, showed it to them and watched how they reacted, and you didn't force it on them after that. But they wanted you to be fake. They probably met a whole bunch of fake high priestess and priests or whatever. Or they are one. They have all this bravado about them, And don't get me wrong. Just like I've said in other readings, these people are very powerful. Like we don't wrestle against flesh and blood, but principalities in high places or something like that is how it goes. They thought they had you pegged. You know what I'm saying? They thought their ancestors were stronger than yours because they've been able to get away with a whole bunch of stuff, but you saw through a lot of it. You had to indulge for a minute because there were lessons that you needed to learn. I had pulled these cards before I left. I totally forgot about them, but it just came back to me. But find the lessons. This is the order that it came out. It came out walk away, walk away, trust in yourself, I think was next. Find the lesson, and then take charge. Literally in that order. So let's go ahead and go through it. So walk away says you're wasting your precious energy on something that will not bear fruit. This relationship, the situationship, a familial relationship is not going to bear fruit. You have invested, and allowed yourself to be a welcome mat for long enough, in hopes that these people might actually love you and care and change and respect you and just be decent human beings so that you can build. I feel that's what you were waiting on, hoping that you can lead by example and that these people will grow. They will ask your advice and you can help them. If you would give them advice, but they wanted to get it on their own because they don't want to feel like you're teaching them anything. But the Bible does says, out of wisdom will come from the mouths of babes. But per the earlier reading, a mother figure, she don't want to listen to her babe. She don't want to feel like, she don't want the babe to feel like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm explaining it right, but anyway. Precious energy on something that will not bear fruit. It's time to turn your attentions to things more aligned to your soul purpose. Again, if it's a situationship, you try to bring them along. They didn't really respond. They didn't really respond in the way you wanted. But again, with the first card out, like you've known each other, there was a really deep chemistry that was there. You were able to really open up to this person like someone that you've known forever. And they came at a time that you really needed a listening ear, and really needed someone. But now you're in the energy of trusting yourself because you've done the work and I just said you've done the work, right? Let me read the card. You've got this. You've worked hard. Okay? You've done the work. You've worked hard to get this far. And you have the ability to create the things you desire. Master Manifestor came out, remember? You have the ability to create the things, to manifest the things you desire. Learning to trust in yourself and your abilities will take you to your highest timeline. Remember, we saw high vibration come out over bullying yourself. Okay? You worked hard and you tapped into that high vibration and pulled yourself out of that bullying energy. Okay? And it was tough, but you learned the lesson. It says something has happened and it stopped you in your tracks. Mother issues, realizing, in the past few weeks, we were realizing how our narcissistic parents and siblings groomed us for narcissistic relationships, and so we learned a lesson in that, and we were able to address the entity, not the person. And so in that instance, we were able to forgive, because we know that unforgiveness only hurts us, and we need to create space for abundance to come in and release the hurt. forget what else the forgiveness card said, but something has happened and stopped you in your tracks. In reality, it was simply teaching you where you need to grow. You know, it's just teaching you where you need where you need to grow. There is no such thing as failure. So pick yourself up, learn from it, and keep going. There's no such thing as failure when you learn the lesson. There's no such thing as failure. So pick yourself up, learn from it, and keep going. A breakup. There's no such thing as failure. Pick yourself up, learn the lesson, and keep going. Having to walk away from family, it's not a failure. So pick yourself up, learn from it, keep going. You're not trying to punish anyone, you're protecting yourself. It's not a punishment, it's a protection. You're not walking away out of anger or revenge. You are walking away to survive. And then the take charge card. You're taking a back seat in a relationship or situation, and it may end up costing you time, money, or an opportunity. Damn, I don't even think I read this card when I was at the house, but it is hitting. Okay? You've taken a back seat in a relationship. So that could be a third party, or taking a back seat in a situation or situationship. The relationship could be, within your family. People wanting to keep seeing you as someone young and not accept the changes, and to accept you as an equal at this point. You taking a back seat, continuing to take a back seat when you are an empress and royalty, when you have messages in you that the collective need to hear, that the world needs to hear. They're waiting on you in order so that they can hear. It's costing you time, money, and opportunities. You need to step up and regain control once again. Walk away. You're wasting your precious energy on something that will not bear fruit. Take charge. Stop taking a back seat to a relationship or situation or situationship. It's time to turn your attention to things more aligned with your soul purpose. If your family is not aligned with your soul purpose, maybe they're still in religion or in this old energy of the old world that you have exited. If they're still there, you're wasting precious energy on something that will not bear fruit. And it's going to end up costing you time, money, or an opportunity. You need to step up and regain control again. Whew. All right, family, I'm going to stop right there. I got plenty more cards. And mind you, this is the customized deck that I pulled from the video earlier today. And so I had the bright idea to bring it to the park with me. So let me find a little bag, bring this to the park, and I can read with the rest of the cards. And we still got plenty. There's still more messages here. We were just talking about religion, right? And you may be dealing with people that's afraid to really tap into spirituality. They may not even be religious, but they are just floating in the wind. And like the card says, you need someone that's more aligned with where you are going. But it says Jesus never wanted religion. Jesus was spiritual, Jesus never wanted religion. He wanted leaders. Religion creates followers. And that's a liability. it can be a liability. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all can still hear me. I thought this was on. I thought this was actually what the audio was recording through, but it literally just cut off, so it couldn't have been the case. So I don't know. But you about to be blissed out. Okay? You're about to experience bliss because you're about to use your wings. You have flight. Use it. You operate in a different dimension. You have flight. Just kind of, it's like the butterfly. Maybe even the moth that was on my guitar. I might have to go home and find the total message for moth and just put it on, read it and just have it here as a reminder. The people that you're walking away from are caterpillars, still crawling on the ground. You had the courage to go into the cocoon and do shadow work. Whoa. Speaking of, that card came out in this deck that this package was waiting for me as I walked out the door. And I was like, ooh, what is this? I totally forgot about it. These are sacred symbols for divination and meditation. So let's see what comes out here. When I opened it, the first card, the number one card, was protection. So I took that as a message for me anyway, because we did have Archangel Michael come through within the reading. The first card could have been anything, but it was protection, so I took that shit as a message for me. I think truth was the other card. I think it was a 45. I think the page number was 45, but it was just saying that the truth is going to be revealed. I'm trying to think of the other one. I can't, so let's just get us alchemy, transmute with the serpent, 44. That came out. That number was in the reading earlier today. Solid foundation energy. You're transmuting all of the pain and the poison, and you're allowing it to purify you. I have a card that reads, pain can either purify you or poison you, and you allowed it to purify you. And then look, bottom of the deck, we have gratitude. So let's go ahead and read 44 for transmute. And you won't need to transmute anything unless you went through something, You don't want to transmute good energy into bad energy. You usually only want to transmute what's considered bad or uncomfortable or whatever. And then for gratitude to be at the bottom of the deck, that really shows growth. You are not afraid. That shows that you're not afraid to go into your shadow. And we spoke about this in the previous read. You're not afraid to go into your shadow and to do the work. That's why you have exited and have entered into your master manifesting prosperity timeline, abundance timeline. Transmute. It says to transmute is to convert one energy into another. The snake is a powerful symbol of transmutation. You're being invited to accept this gift of shedding to help you process something important. Use this ability to make magic by transmuting the snake's energy into something new and beneficial for your growth. Meditate on this symbol when you need some assistance in changing the energy in your life. The symbol, snake. The snake represents our ability to connect to our own inner alchemist, to let go of the old by being able to shed its skin, thereby allowing for constant evolution. We have shedded our skin. We're like a new baby deer in this new energy, having to release a lot. But eventually, this cycle will wrap up and we're going to have to evolve and going to go through another shedding. But it allows for continued elevation and evolution, because change is the only thing constant in life. Stagnation brings death. Okay, then we had gratitude. What number was gratitude? 35, 8. That 8 came up in the read earlier today as well. Turn it to the side, the infinity symbol. Infinite abundance, infinite prosperity. That's what we're calling it for. Because it's gratitude. You're not gonna be gracious for infinite heartbreak. No, you're gonna be gracious for prosperity, financial prosperity, all of the things. It says a deep honoring is present. Give and feel great thanks now for whatever blessings. Give and feel great thanks now for whatever blessings have arrived or are en route to you now. Drawing this card invites you to share your devotion or to outwardly express gratitude to someone or something for its presence in your life. Meditate or create a gratitude list for all that you are thankful for in your life. Symbol, the devotional candle. And I spoke earlier about maybe getting a white candle to burn to help clear the energy. It says candles have long been used to light a room, a path, or even a cake. They are often used in magical rituals, in memorials, and to honor sacred passages in life. And I feel like you're on a sacred passage in life right now. Again, that's why you're being called to release, to transmute, and to really tap into your inner alchemist. You're transmuting relationships that are not in alignment with your highest purpose, with where you're trying to go in life. You know, those energies are being demoted, if not fully removed. Maybe via you moving to another city, state, country, maybe. So, yeah. Well, that's the message. I hope that helped in some way, shape, form, or fashion. We did that in 40 minutes. I'm proud of us. I'm proud of the new team. Okay, they got us working with efficiency. You feel me? But, alright family, until next time, I love you.